Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new Hearthstone deck video. Today we are playing a BARNES Miracle deck that was piloted to legend by synpoozy. So we have the Barnes here, and we hope with the Barnes to get stuff like the Tomb Pillager, Questing Venturer, the Auctioneer, Shaku out of the deck. So we have some high value targets for that. It's pretty good. And we are going against the Warlock here, most likely Renolock. And then it's all about the value. We have a Conceal here, we have a Tomb Pillager, and we have the Gadgetzan Auctioneer alongside a Questing Venturer. So that should work out decently. So I would say we can just keep the hand, although it's a bit expensive. Normally you want to start with some pirates, but the hand is pretty good. We can keep that. We're going second, so we get the extra coin here and also have a backstab. That's quite a lot already for the Auctioneer to draw. If we can survive that long without using the cards here, of course. We're getting another coin from the Tomb Pillager. The opponent is using the life tap. And going down to 28 and another Auctioneer, which is pretty good. Did him for another 1 point in the face, so he's down to 27. Opponent is definitely playing a Renolock. Otherwise, he wouldn't be using the life tap that heavily. And fun fact, there are not that many decks besides Renolock on the ladder at the moment, if you are facing Warlock. So we have a small time Buccaneer. And we have the Questing Venturer, so it would be possible to go for that. And then the coin into the small time Buccaneer. Then we are not able to play the Conceal, of course, so that could be a problem. But still, that's a decent board, so we might want to use that.
Give me a quest.
There comes Patches from the deck, so we can hit him for 1 in the face. We're keeping the weapon here, of course, for the small time Buccaneer, so he has 3 attack then. Opponent is going for a Twilight Drake, so he could use another Questing Venturer, that's great. He could use, for example, a Shadow Flame, but the Questing Venturer here is getting bigger, and we have a Conceal ready. That is pretty good. Backstab. We could play another Questing Venturer and then Concealing. Could also use a Backstab here on the Twilight Drake, so the Questing Venturer here would go up to 7-7. The other one would be at 4-4, so that's pretty good. With the Shadow Flame, if he has one, could then kill the Questing Venturer and the other 2 units, but the other one would stay on the board, so that's pretty good. And I really like that. Just push as much damage as possible. So we're going for a lot of damage in the face. It's down to 14. We can use the Conceal, so we can't target the units. So Shadow Flame will only clear the 3 on the left. We still have a 7-7. He's at 14 life, so that is not very high. He might then play the Leeroy Jenkins on the next turn. If he can't use a Shadow Flame here, he's probably dead next turn. Hellfire, for example, would only clear the 2 smaller units here. So he's going for the face. There is the Shadow Flame. If he then has a Leeroy Jenkins, he can definitely survive. No preparation, very nice. So we will hit him for 8, he's down to 6. There is no need to hit him with the weapon right now. If there is a Leeroy Jenkins, then he's going back to full life anyway. And otherwise we might want to use the weapon next turn for an attack. So no Leeroy Jenkins, but a Siphon Soul. Going up to 9. We can currently push 6 damage here. We have our Auctioneer, another one in the preparation. For now, no other spell. So I don't like to play the Auctioneer at the moment. We're going for the Swashburglar here. Finding Succubus. That's really not a good pickup. Push another 6 in the face, so he's down to 3. I would say he has no Leeroy Jenkins in hand, otherwise he would have played that earlier, 1 turn earlier, because there was a high risk to leave the Tomb Pillager here on the board and just going up to 9. If we have 1 Cold Blood or 1 Eviscerate, he would be going down.
Funnel cakes.
There's a refreshment vendor. Going back to 7 life, Mistress. And maybe a Demon Wrath. Something to protect her, okay. Demon Wrath would have killed the Mistress here as well. Yeah, what a shame. So we are not able to hit the face here. I mean, we can go for the Auctioneer, use the preparation. If we want, we can play the Cold Blood. Otherwise, we might find a Zap, and the Zap could bring us a victory.
I got the best deals anywhere.
This is another Cold Blood. But that won't be good enough here. We still can't hit. We still can't hit both. So there's no way we're doing that. And let's keep the Cold Bloods for now. Let's just take out the Mistress here. Would be a long shot to go for Cold Blood. Then hope to find 2 decent spells here. We would need preparation, for example, and then would have drawn the Zap. It would be the perfect chain. But otherwise there was no way we could win here. He's still down to 11. He can take out the Tomb Pillager. I mean, if we're getting Leeroy Jenkins here, we will win. At the Demon Wrath, Hellfire. Okay, Hellfire is better. We've taken 3 more damage. Kazakus. Searching for a decent spell. He is currently at 8 mana, so probably taking the 5 mana potion if he's... Zap. Oh, we can't use that here. If he's afraid of dying next turn, he definitely want to take the 5 mana potion. The 10 mana potion is not useful. So another Auctioneer. Draw a few more cards. Drake. That's really not too hot. Don't want to use the Dep here on the Kazakus. Might just use 1 Cold Blood. Another card, another Drake. Interesting. Let's hit him here for 1. Really, the Zap on the Kazakus is too painful. You can get another potion and then even found a 1 mana potion. So, Kazakus potion for 5 damage. He's resummoning 2 friendly minions. That's a Mistress. That's decent. And the Dirty Red. Ooh, that gives us the Succubus. That was excellent. Otherwise, there was no real way to play that here if we have cards in hand. We don't want to lose those. Small-time Buccaneer. Yeah, we're definitely dropping... Play the Drake first. There's Eviscerate. Still not good enough. So we could give him the Dirty Red back into the hand. If we would play that again, we're getting another Drake. We're not getting the card draw. It depends a bit on what he has in hand. If he can clear a whole board, then giving him the Dirty Red back into the hand is not that great. Otherwise, it might be. Definitely might be. The Red currently dealing 5 damage, so we could, for example, take out the Dirty Red. We could take out the Refreshment Vendor. Decent stuff. With the Mistress, he can heal back to 11. I guess we're going for the Dirty Red here. If the Drake would have survived 1 turn, we could have played the second Drake and then the Eviscerate would deal 6 damage. He's currently at 7, so that would have been maybe enough, but with the Mistress, could have healed back. So in most cases, it isn't enough. So he's getting a card from the Cabal Courier. Holy Smite. Good one. So we can trade, going back to 11. We can clear the small-time Buccaneer. Savannah's Windrunner. Now we are still waiting for Leeroy Jenkins. But with 10 mana we can play the Drake, we can play the Fan of Knives, clearing everything. Oh, Edwin, nice to meet you. Can't play you, unfortunately. Play the Fan of Knights, we're drawing another card. Conceal. Oh, Conceal could be very good, but... shall we do that? I mean, we have the Cold Blood. That would be 8, that would be 9, so still not good enough. But just do the Zappy to give him the Varnas back, of course. And we are concealing. And that's hit him for 1. So he's down to 10. Not using the Cold Blood here because it might be that we're getting the Leeroy Jenkins. Second Red Bruiser. Oh no. That's too much. One taunt was good enough. We could have just used the Zap here. Second taunt is dangerous. Maybe we can find a decent card from the Barnes. We are getting Leeroy Jenkins. Oh, wow. With only one taunt here we would have won because of the Leeroy Jenkins. Fortunately that's not the case now. So we can use the Zap on the Varnas. Then we can kill the second Red Bruiser. We have no chance to play the Edwin here as well this turn. Because to clear the second Red Bruiser, I mean we could go on the Azure Drake, but that is hitting for more. We need to play the Cold Blood here on the Leeroy and get a weapon. And we can hit him for 4. It's down to 6. So even if he's clearing the board, another Leeroy out of the deck, we have 8 cards left, would finish the game here. We're going into Lord Jaraxxus. Still have 8 damage on board. He's now able to clear the Drake, of course. But he's not able to play an Infernal. There's a Zap. Can't play that here. So let's hit him, he's down to 7. We have no Conceal left. Could just go for the Edwin. But then we are still missing 1 point of damage here. And he can just kill the Edwin, so we are waiting 1 turn. We'll then at least drop the Infernal and maybe Sylvanas. With the Zap we can only give him 1 unit back into the hand. I mean, Leeroy Jenkins is still there, so 7 cards to go. It's a decent chance to get there. Twisting Nether. Alright. So, oh, Doomsayer. Not going for the Inferno. Fan of Knives. Yeah, I would say we're playing Fan of Knives. 6 cards to go, decent chance. Only the Backstab, wow. So he has played Twisting Nether, he has played Shadow Flame, he has already played stuff like the Hellfire. Yeah, we could just play the Zap here. Play the Edwin as a 6/6. Hit him for 1. Get another weapon. 5 to go, 20% chance to get the Leeroy. The 1 card in his hand is Sylvanas, 1 is a Doomsayer. So 3 unknown cards. And he has 11 cards to go. There's still Reno Jackson. So he could potentially go up to 15 again. But going for the Doomsayer. And he's hitting that. Oh yeah, he is dying. So he took that down. Our second game is against the Druid. Druid in particular is a tough matchup. So we will see how that is going. We're starting with a small time Buccaneer. And I would say Conceal and the Fan of Knives. These are going back. Also the Fan of Knives might be decent if he's playing the Jade Golem. Which is very likely because most of the Druids right now on the ladder are playing Jade Golem. There's not much else on the ladder, maybe some Coon combo decks. Sometimes you will find a Spell Druid, But the small Jade Golems can be killed by the Fan of Knives early on. I would say we can use a Fan of Knives here alongside the small-time Buccaneer. Getting a Questing Adventurer. Oh, that card is pretty decent. In general, the Druid has problems with high damage units and half-life. So, small-time Buccaneer. Getting the patches, of course. That one's hitting the face. You're also getting Shaku with the Collector here. And that might be a decent 3-drop. We might just go for the weapon on turn 2 and then play Shaku with the Collector. Creating more and more cards into our hand. That might be very good with the Questing Adventurer. Maybe we find some cheap spells. Would be insane. As Barnes. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Shaku on 3, Barnes on 4. Especially if we can find a 0 spell card with the Shaku. With the Barnes, if we can get, for example, a Gadgetzan Auctioneer. And we can then play a spell alongside, that would be really great. So opponent is dropping the Wrath. 3 damage on the small-time Buccaneer. Patches is still on the board. That's another Fan of Knives. We're now going for the Shaku, the Collector. And I like to keep the weapon right now. We are still not sure if he's playing Jade Golems. Pretty likely, as I said before. And if he's playing a Jade Golem here, that one will only be a 1-1. So we can easily take that out with our dagger. There's a coin. And he's going here into the Jade Spirit. Tomb Pillager. So we can't save the Shaku. You can just use the Shapeshift next turn. But we're at least getting one card here. Maybe that's a decent one. Bite. Oh yeah, it is decent, but a bit too late. If we saw that earlier, of course we would have just hit the face. Not the case now, so I could use a Fan of Knives, but really like just to trade and drop the Tomb Pillager. Great card for him would be now a Swipe. Oh, there you go. We can clear both units. But still, that was better than dropping the Barnes. If we are getting decent card here that we want, like the Auctioneer, we want to have at least spells to pull alongside. Let's see. We got the Edwin, which is not that great. So no need to play the coin into the Conceal. We might play that next turn with the Questing Adventurer. Creating a huge one. First swipe is out of the game. And besides the swipe, there is not much that is killing a huge Questing Adventurer. From time to time you are seeing stuff like a Mulch. But most are not using that. Ooh, also get Preparation. That is huge. So we can go for the Questing Adventurer here. With the Preparation we can play the Bite, which is pretty good. We can clear the Drake easily. We can then get a new dagger. Hitting our opponent here for 4. We're using the coin. And also play the Conceal. So our board should be safe. Next turn we have the double Fan of Knives. If we want to, we can then draw 2 cards, deal 2 damage to everything on the board. The Adventurer is going up to 8-8, which is pretty huge. And we have 13 damage currently to push in his face. So with 19 alive left, that should be good enough. As Wild Growth, going up to 7. And for 4, ooh, just a Feral Rage. So he's getting some armor and a Jade Idol. So yeah, I would say we can play the Fan of Knives. Definitely not bad. There's our Auctioneer, which we might then play next turn. We could also play 1 Fan of Knives here. Let's see what we can get. Zap. Now we're keeping the second Fan of Knives for now. Let's just kill the Jade Golem here. Let's hit him in the face for more damage. Down to 16. And let's find out if he has a Mulch in the deck. If there is no Mulch, he now would need, for example, another Swipe and then a Wrath. And then he is losing 2 decent cards. We still would have the Barnes on the board. Another 4 damage that we can push. We can play the Auctioneer. And if he's stopping another unit, we can use the Zap on that. he's going, for example, for the Ancient of War here, we will just go for the zap. And then we can finish the game, most likely. We have 10-12 damage. Zap, Fan of Knives. Yeah, he's nearly down then. He's going for Arya Black Paw. Inner weight. Ooh, there is another swipe. Right? Yeah, there is another swipe. So he's clearing the Barnes and he's clearing the Edwin. Which means he has no chance to clear the Questing Adventurer. Which is great. So we're going for the Auctioneer here. Then we can zap the Arya. He's getting, of course, another Jade Golem on the board, so that is not super great. But his board is then so weak at the moment. Only a 3/3 on it. Another Auctioneer. We can hit him for 9 points here. We can use the weapon, so another 1 in the face. He's down to 6. And he still needs to clear the Adventurer to win. If he's just dropping the Arya, we don't care for that. That would leave him with 3 mana to go. And he can't kill the Questing Adventurer with 3 mana if he has no mulch. If he's playing a huge taunt unit, like the Ancient of War, we can just kill that with the Questing Adventurer. Still have 5 damage from the weapon and the Auctioneer. So we would also be nearly down. Oh, there's also an Auctioneer. Living Roots on that. So 2 mana left. What will you play here? There's no Unicorn card for 2 mana. And he's concealing. So another victory. Our third game for today's episode will be against the Shaman, which is always a problem because the Shaman has so much AoE. But we will find out if that is working here. So far I've played against 1 Shaman with the deck, but that one was a control Shaman and we were able to kill him there. So we are starting with the Swashburglar and the preparation here. Getting an Auctioneer, which is fine, a bit too expensive for the start here. Conceal. Okay, we're definitely starting with the Swashburglar, of course. Let's see, we're getting Elemental Destruction. Decent card, but the Lightning Storm is better in our deck, so we'll see about that. But sure, for preparation, Elemental Destruction for Viewer is definitely good. There's a Tunnel Rock. Could be a problem. We have a Cold Blood here, so potentially we can just kill the Tunnel Talk. But I mean, we have the Elemental Destruction. So pretty good. And let's just hit him in the face for now.
Here we go.
Maelstrom Portal would be the best card for him in this situation. So he can just take out both units. Otherwise he could also go for Jade Spirit. He is dropping a Jade Claws. So taking out our 2 units, still keeping the Tunnel Talk. Another Conceal. That is really not that great. Not much to do at the moment. If we had a Lightning Storm here, we could have played that. Elemental Destruction is a bit dangerous because of the Overload 5. So if you play that here, we can't play anything else next turn. Small time Buccaneer. So if we go for Elemental Destruction, we would clear currently 6 damage. We would drop more next turn. We can't play anything else then next turn, which is a problem. I mean, we could play Preparation and another spell, that's for sure. If we're not using the Elemental Destruction now, he's pushing 8 damage in the face, so that's quite a lot. And might be even more if he's going for an Overload card. So I guess we are still dropping the Elemental Destruction and let's play the Small Time Buccaneer. If we are in any danger, we could use Preparation and a spell, so let's keep that in mind. He's hitting the Small Time Buccaneer here for 2, getting 3 damage down to 22. And he's only getting a Totem, so that's decent. Feral Spirits, for example, would have been way more devastating. Well, let's hit him here for 1 and pass the turn. We'll be at 6 next turn, so the Auctioneer could come into play. We could play Auctioneer, Preparation, Conceal, drawing 2 cards. Then we could go for the Barnes turn after and play Cold Blood here and another Conceal. Ooh, especially with the Questing Adventurer. That's interesting. Let's start with the Gadgetzan Auctioneer. Preparation. Backstab is also decent, but we of course need to play the Conceal first, otherwise our preparation is not worth it. And Shaku the Collector. So the Bran here is a problem. Normally you don't want to have him on the board, but we can't change the fact right now. So let's just kill a Jade Golem. We're drawing another card. Fan of Knives. Good stuff all around. Okay, let's see Drake. Drake is a problem, because there might be a Lightning Storm in his hand. That would clear a lot of stuff. So we're definitely playing the Questing Adventurer. And what else will we play? The more the better, right? The more the better. So right now, if we go for a high cost card like the Barnes, we can only play Questing Adventurer and the Barnes. That might not be enough because you have the Drake here. We want the Questing Adventurer at least at 4. We can currently push 5, 11, we're at 19. There is a chance that he can kill us next turn. But if we just go for the face, there's also a chance that we can kill him next turn. So, need to balance here. I guess we are going just for the face. Let's try that. It's a bit risky, but you want to win, right? If we're just defending here, the Auctioneer might go down. And also the Questing Adventurer if he's just dropping a Lightning Storm. So let's hit him for 8. Dropping the Conceal as well. Weapon is also hitting the face. Molten Buccaneer. And let's get another weapon. So he's at 12. We have 12 damage on the board plus a weapon. That will be 13. If he has decent spells in hand, he can kill us. So keep that in mind. Water Speaker. Okay, so he's healing back. Apparently he can't kill us. But with double Bran, that will be 12 life back. That's quite a lot. We are down to 10. Also Feral Spirit. Oh, that is too much. That's a really strong board here. We're down to 8. Eviscerate, Eviscerate, Eviscerate. Oh, that is too much. We have the Eviscerate to take, for example, out the Drake here. We can then trade into the Spirit Wolves. But seriously, that is not too great. He still has more than enough damage on board. And we can't finish him here. So Water Speaker was definitely good with the Barnes and with the Bran. So what is there to do? Probably nothing. Well, we could go for the Fan of Knives here and hope to find a decent card. Maybe find a Preparation. No, not the case. Found a Backstab, which is too late. Why would you give me that now? Nope, nope, nope. Not happening. There's too much damage on the board and we're losing that, unfortunately. So let's concede. And Lava Burst. Bang, bang, boom. Do you have more? Lava Burst and Lightning Bolt. Could have killed this last turn as well, couldn't you? Or was there at too few mana, right? So we're losing that, unfortunately. Still going 2-1, and I've played 3 games before the video, so I'm currently 5-1 with the deck, so that's pretty decent. I would definitely recommend you the deck to try that out. Barnes is giving a lot of value in the Miracle deck, and especially if you have the Auctioneer or the Questing Adventurer out of the Barnes, that is pretty insane. Pretty nice value there. That will be the end now for the episode. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you then in the next one. Have a good night and bye bye.